Hi guys, this is Amy. Amy's a little bit of everything like I do. I do a little bit of everything. I've got canning going today, and I'm going to do corn. I've had some requests, especially last year I had some requests of people to say, teach me how to can. Well, I don't know if I can teach you how to can, but I can teach you kind of like the basic stuff. First you need a pan, like a bigger pan, to put your jars in to sterilize. I sterilize for 10 minutes. Then this is like my cooking pan, like when I do my hot sauce, I mix all my hot sauce in there. Today I'm doing corn, so I'm just going to have hot water, and then I'll show you my corn. So this wasn't very long one, but I just kind of wanted to throw the shoes in one so that I could have many shoes. But so far, I have 3 bags of corn that I've already, this is called raw packing. This is just raw corn. We shuck the corn, and then I use a little tool to scrape it to get all the corn off of it. And I've got 3 bags of these, so I'm going to see what 3 bags get me and see where we stand with that, and then go from there. So what I'll do is then, well, I'll get into that here in a minute. So that's kind of my setup. Then you'll need the big old pressure cooker. That's that. Oh, kills my wrist. I shouldn't have done that. Okay. And the first thing I'm doing right now, I'm going to try to turn you around so that I am washing all my jars. So I've got some here in the sink. Sorry about the mess. I've got a lot of stuff going on. But right now, I'm washing my jars. So you got to get your jars washed and then into this one to sterilize. So let me get my jars washed and I'll come back. All right, I'm back. I did just want to tell you a little something. Everybody does canning differently. There's tons of different ways to do it. I kind of do half and half. My mom always went with the Ball Blue Book preserving book. So I kind of have a tendency to lean towards this. There's a few things that she taught me that's not in here. So just remember to do it your way, how you feel safe for your family. And, you know, that's really all I got to say on that, because I'll do special things. Like I'll take an extra step on one thing that you may not need to do that other people don't do. I use my pressure cooker on almost everything except for my jellies and jams, you know, stuff like that. But other than that, all my meat and everything, some people don't. And that's completely fine if they're comfortable with that. So you find your recipe on how you like to do things. This is a real good book to go by. I think I bought it years ago at Rural King. And but anywhere can do it. You find it on Amazon. But this is kind of where I go to first. Then I'll go to Google. But I always have my mom's tips in the back of my mind. So kind of go by how you feel and what you believe in and what you think. So other than that, I got all my jars washed. So they're sitting over here now. My water is still going. It takes it a little bit. We like for the water to get up to 180 degrees. This one, I'll just keep it boiling because it will go on my corn in a little bit. Let's see. Oh, some of the tools that you might need. These are my go-to every time. I always use the funnel. Ooh. I just washed these off real quick. I always use my funnel. And then I always have my little measuring thing to measure my water, measure my head space. Head space is how much space you keep at the top of your jars. And then I use this in to debubble. I'll show you what I mean about these things. This little thing helps get your lids out. I always sterilize my lids. Some people do, some people don't. Mom always did. I will. So that helps get the lids out. This is just a ladle to get the corn and that kind of stuff out. You know what that is. This is to get your cans out of the hot water or put in the hot water. And then I always have a temperature gauge because I do always wait to do my jars until it gets to 180. All right. I'm going to try to see if there's anything else. Oh, and I try to stack my jars. When I do pints, I can stack them. I can get 7 on the bottom, or 8 on the bottom, 8 on the top. Sometimes I'll do 8 and 7. It just kind of depends on how tight it's starting to fill. I don't pack them in there real tight. I like them a little loose, so it just kind of depends on me and the day. But that's usually what I do. You always have to have a separator between the jars on top, jars on the bottom, and you'll also have one of these, or some people use, hold on, I think I got one in here. Or some people use this. You have to have something to at least separate the bottom of the pan and your jars, because they can bust if you don't. Okay, so like on my pressure canner, I have one of these at the bottom. I never set my jars directly on the bottom of the pan. Corn, I just put a little bit of salt. Let me just pull corn up real quick. And the funny thing is I have this stuff all memorized, but I always just get out my book. I think it was on 114, I'm not for sure. That was peas, because I did peas yesterday. It was 68 cents. So, oh, here's corn. I always just get out the good old book. But here's corn. This is what I would use right here. And it has step by step. I've basically already prepped it. I did this yesterday. So, I already got the ears, the husk and silk from the ears of corn. I've washed it under cold water. I cut the corn off the cob. Let's see. And that's about it. And then there's raw pack and hot pack. Raw pack is when you bring your raw corn and hot water together and pressure cook it. Hot pack is when you put the corn in a hot sauce or in a saucepan, add the water, and you cook it all, kind of cook it down. But I just do raw pack. It always seems to work for me, and it tastes really good. The corn always comes out really fresh. So my next step is I'm kind of waiting because I really need to do my jars. And this is how I would do them. I would take this off. Be very careful because sometimes your water will steam off the pan. I have a little pad on my floor. And then I take this and put it in here. I always add a little vinegar in my water anytime, even with my pressure canner. It helps keep the jars from getting steamy looking, and the lids. It helps with the lids. So I do it. Other people may not do it. So this is kind of just what you want to do yourself. But I always put vinegar in here, and then and then I won't with that. That's my regular water to use with my corn. Yeah, right now it's just a little over 100 degrees. I like to get 180. Well, I get 180. And it gets hot in here. I have to turn my fan on. I put on my tank, and I just deal with it. Well, it's getting up to 150, so we'll hold on here in a minute. It might get even higher. I have to pick and choose my days. I've kind of got a headache today. Sinuses are kind of bothering me, and I have a cough. So it's nothing. I'm not sick. It's just my lung disease. So I just kind of have to, and I got all this corn, and I have carrots that I really need to get done. I don't know if I'll do the carrots. I'm going to try to, but I at least want to get the corn done. And the corn, I think, has to cook 55 minutes. I thought it was 40. Okay, so if you process pint jars, 55 minutes. Quart jars are 1 hour and 25 minutes. So it is 55 minutes for corn. Okay, let me see where we're at. Yeah, it stopped at a little over 150. So this is about the only thing that I have to wait on the most is heating up the water. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and wait, let that heat up a little bit, and then I'll come back and show you what my next step would be. Okay guys, my water's almost heated up to 180 degrees. So my next thing I'm going to do is, you don't want to put cold jars or yeah, cold jars, you don't want to put your hot water into the cold jars with your corn. So you want them to be hot. They'll be hot from sterilizing. But before you put them in the hot sterilized water, you need to heat these up. I just use warm tap water. My water gets pretty hot here. Yeah, it's getting warm. And whatever jars that I think I'm going to use, I put those in there to heat up. And then once I feel like they're warm enough, then I put them in the sterilization water to get them, it's all about keeping clean and washing, and because you don't want, of course, you don't want to get anybody in your family sick. So, and I'm going to do about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That'll be my bottom of the pan. I'm probably going to go ahead and do 16, just so that I have them ready to go on hand. I don't know if I'll fill that many, and like I said, I got 3 of these bags. I brought all 3 out now. So I'm going to go from there, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, my water has reached 180, and now we're taking the jars and putting it in the hot water. And remember to do this, safety first. Everybody does everything their way, so you know, take precautions. When I put mine in here, I slant it because the water will come back and burn you. I've done it way too many times. But now you're just putting it in the hot water. You want your water to at least be an inch or 2 above your jar, just to make sure that you got everything covered. So I'm going to put these 2 in here and fill this up so that I can start getting my corn canned and ready to go. So I'll let you guys go, and I'll get my jar filled up, or get my big thing filled up here. Okay, I got this thing full. I'm going to set it for 10 minutes. And then once that gets done, I bring them out on the table, and I fill my corn, then my hot water. I think it's, let's see, half. Oh, and you always put, some people use regular salt, some people use the canning salt. I always put the canning salt in there. I can't really, I think my mom just, I think she would, if she had the canning salt, she would use canning salt, and if she didn't, some people think this is too salty, but I've always had good luck with canning salt, so I use, they say for pint jars, 1/2 teaspoon. I use 1/2 teaspoon. So, 1/2 teaspoon, because it does bring on a lot of salty taste. So, let's see. We'll let that count down, and then I'll be back again. Hi guys, it's me. I just filled, oh, I don't know if I can pick this, my pressure can full of water. I put a little vinegar in there. And you want your pressure canner to have 2 inches of water standing in it. And I've got 2 inches. Oh, you won't see the line. It's a little over. Right there's 2. And there's my water line. So that's fine. I mean, I've done it before like that. So that is ready to go. So once my cans get done, or my jars, sorry, I'm going to move them over to this spot. I hope I'm not confusing anybody. You kind of have to know how to do it and just jump in and get started, because that's how I got started. Well, I got to see Mom do it, so I kind of had a feeling for it, but I had to just jump in. I was a nervous wreck. I was scared to death of the pressure canner. I thought it was going to explode on me or not, but it won't. Well, I mean, it can. I take that back. It can, so you have to really pay attention to it. Safety. But when the timer goes off, those come out here. My water is boiling, so it is ready. You can see that it's ready to go. So I'm going to move this over here because, oh, I could have put that on my other, Jeff brought me in one of these. Dang it, I forgot to use it. I could have put my hot water on here because I need a bigger space. But anyways, it gets me by. I probably should have done it. But my water will stay hot. It stays hot for a while. So I'll go ahead and move this over here. Then I'll get my pressure canner on my stove because the water, you want the water to be a little warm to match up with your warm jars. So that's what I'm waiting on. I'm just waiting on this. I've got 1 minute, so I will be back in just a little bit. Okay, guys. I really don't know what would be the best view. This is hard to do and can at the same time because you got to keep everything hot. Let's try that. See all my water jugs and everything. All right, so I'm going to try to keep it like that. All right, so here's my salt. Here's my vinegar water because you got to wipe the rims. Ooh, let me put you up just a little bit more. Okay. These are hot. I just took them out of the hot water, and I got my pressure cooker up there now. So what we need to do, oh, I gotta set my timer for these because I put another 8 in. So what we do, we want to fill these with corn first. This is not cooked corn, this is raw. So we fill them like this. I'm not going to have you sit and watch all this, but we fill the corn up. You want to leave an inch head space with the water, but we're going to fill these up and then I'll come back and show you the next step. Okay guys, I'm back. So it looks like one bag is going to be 2, 4, 6, 8 jars, and I had just a little bit left over, so we'll use that for the next one. So I've got all the corn in there. Now I'm going to put the hot water, and it said leave, remember, inch head space. An inch head space, I always measure it, but it's usually about to this line right here. I'll put just a little bit more water in that one. But this is hot water, and remember to do everything as safely as you can. I am not an expert by any means, so, but I do know what works for me and my family. So this works. And it seals every time, and I don't worry about it at all, my family eating it at all. So, you know, you'll just have to see what works for you and do you. So I'm going to fill these up with water. And then my next thing is I'm going to put debubble. I'll show you what debubble means. I won't have you sit and watch this whole thing. And it's okay if you have corn on your strainer and dip it in there, or your ladle. It's fine because it's all going to be in the same thing. So, okay, here we go, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, guys, now I'm going to show you. You take your little ruler right here, and you come down, and an inch head space is about to that line because there's my inch, my inch, my inch. Some of them's give and take a little bit. I wouldn't go a lot, but I have a couple here that maybe needs just a little bit more. You know, give and take a little bit. So, okay, and now debubbling, I use this, and you could use any end that you want. You just poke it down there and get the bubbles out. And then I make sure that my water covers my corn. And then I'm running close to my 20-minute mark, so I'm going to go ahead and just do these two. I take a half of a half, put that in there, put that in there. Then I take, this is my little vinegar water that I have sitting here. I dip my little rag in there. I go around the edge. I make sure the edge is clean. Because if your edge is not clean, you will not get a good seal. Then, oh, I hope my video is not going too long. Then I step back here, get my lids on there, and my lids have been boiling, then I take my rings and, oh, finger tight, sorry, finger tight. I always want to do that every time, just get a good grip on there. Finger tight, not too tight. Then my water's heating up in there. It's not real hot. I think I'll be fine. It'll actually work out pretty good. And then you set them in there, and then you do the next two. And remember, I do all of them at once, but that was just showing you how we get it in the pressure cooker. And I hope I don't have to do another video, but I will be back. Okay, guys, I'm not wanting to do another video of this because I'm going to have to be quick. I put my 8 in here, so I'm going to layer that on top of there because you don't want to stack jar on top of jar, but I got my layer. So I'm going to do another 8, put them on the top, and then I'll be back. Okay, guys, I got the pressure canner packed with 16 jars. Now you want it to start steaming.
We don't use it that often. We don't really take tub baths, but we might like somebody that's busy.
You want this to start steaming now, and it'll steam out of here for 10 minutes. Then you'll put your caps on. Everybody's pressure is different. Here in Indiana, we let it get up to 10 pressure, and then we'll let that go for 55 minutes, and then we will be done. Our corn will be done. So remember to do this at your own, you know, get your book, get whatever you need. I've done it so many times. I don't think I left anything out, but remember to do this at your own risk. And just do a little bit. Start with jellies and jams or something easy like that. Don't take on something hard unless you, you know, have some experience in canning. But yeah, canning is awesome. Some people say you don't save any money. Well, I figured my peas out, and my peas I paid for a pint. I'll show you right here. I got them right here. For a pint, I paid 31 cents. So I know what's in there. I did it myself, homegrown peas. So I know that there's nothing bad in there, no pesticides or anything, because we have our garden, we take care of it. The peace of mind, let alone the 31 cents, makes me feel awesome. Even Aldi, I think their cans, oh, heck, I don't even know. I haven't been to Aldi for a while because I've been canning my own stuff. But I do know Kroger, I think, is $1 for name brand. And for less, or for a off-brand, maybe like 89 cents or something like that. I'm not for sure. But, and then the same thing, like I made my hot salsa. I know what's in there, and like it's almost the same thing. It's like pennies in a jar. Now it does cost a lot to get started, because before, when I got started, I only had some jars. I keep calling it cans. I only had some jars, so I had to purchase a lot of jars. But now that I've been doing it for a while, I just wash and wear, and then get ready for the new season, you know, and just do it like that. So actually, the only thing that it would cost me, well, the seeds for the peas is the only thing. But for like our potatoes, I saved back our potatoes from last year, and we grew them ourselves and planted them. So they're actually from the seed from 2 years ago. So, you know, you can do it and you can save money. A lot of people say, oh, canning is expensive. You can't can. I'll do my hot salsa. Sometimes I do my own recipe. Sometimes I'll use a ball recipe. And sometimes, let me show you the package I get. Sometimes when I'm in a pinch, this is medium sauce. I did hot salsa last night. But I use my own peppers, my onions that we grew. But this is like a packet that I'll get at Rural King, Mrs. Wages, and it has step-by-step of what to do. You just have to figure out what you need to get started. And like I said, it's kind of like what I went over the stuff here. That's about all you need to get started. And then this little stuff, like I was showing you, these little things, they come in like a pack, so you can get the whole thing. And I apologize, I forgot my videos playing in the background because I was reviewing it before I sent it to play. And I didn't realize it until I heard Cujo bark, and I was like, what was that? So, I'm sorry, that's playing in the background. Really, I don't watch myself. I can't really, I'm one of those people that I just play it to make sure everything's okay, and then I send it to post on YouTube. But yeah, I hope I didn't steer anybody wrong, but I did use 2 bags of corn. I got 16 jars, so this will probably be another 16. Yeah, oh no, just another 8. So probably 8 jars, and then that'll finish off the corn. So, like I said, it doesn't cost me anything to get started now because I have everything I need. You know, you just have to do it yourself and see what you can do. And again, I'm not an expert. I'm not a professional on this. I'm just a country girl who usually does it mom's way. And a ball, I use ball everything. I do have some jars that's different jars now, but yeah, if you need a recipe or look it up, Google, this is the best book. And sometimes it's not in here what I want, and I just Google it, and you can Google ball recipes and it'll bring you up a recipe. It may not have it in here, but they do have it. So yeah, that's it. Canning corn. I know you might be intimidated. If anybody has any questions, please post in the comments and I'll try to answer them the best I can. And if I can't, I'll find somebody who can. My sister-in-law cans. She has canned for a long time. I can go to her and other family members. I wish my mom was still here so I could go to her, but because she'd be my first one to go to. But she's passed on. She's with Jesus and my dad now, and my 2 sisters, so I'm all right. But I can't ask her certain things now, so, you know, it's kind of hard, but you just get by. I think that's it. But like, subscribe, share, and let's get this channel rolling. All right, guys, God bless. Have a great day, and it's hot and humid out there, and my kitchen's not too bad yet. But once this baby starts heating up and the steam starts coming out, it gets hot. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Have a great day, and God bless. Bye. Oh, and make somebody smile today. Do something nice. Do something kind. Say something nice or kind. And put a smile on someone's face. All right, guys. Thank you, and have a great day. Bye.